Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, yet somehow you're still not healing? You've read the books. You've watched the videos. You've reflected on your past. You've tried to move on. And yet, something inside you still feels stuck. Many people believe healing is a straight line. They imagine that one day they'll wake up and finally feel completely different. Completely free. Completely healed. But that's not how healing works. One of the most important ideas from Brianna Wiest's book This Is How You Heal is that healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to the person you were before pain convinced you that you had to become someone else. Many of us spend years trying to fix ourselves. We search for the perfect routine, the perfect relationship, the perfect solution. But what if healing isn't about fixing what's broken? What if healing is about understanding that you were never broken in the first place? The reason so many people struggle to heal is because they're fighting the wrong battle. They're trying to eliminate pain completely. They're trying to avoid discomfort. They're trying to control every emotion. But healing isn't the absence of pain. Healing is changing your relationship with pain. Think about emotional wounds. Most of the suffering doesn't come from the original event itself. It comes from the stories we build around it. A rejection becomes proof that we're unlovable. A failure becomes proof that we're not good enough. A breakup becomes proof that we'll always be alone. Over time, these stories become part of our identity. And eventually we stop questioning them. We simply assume they are true. But healing begins the moment you realize that your thoughts are not always facts. You can experience pain without becoming pain. You can experience fear without becoming fear. You can experience sadness without becoming sadness. The emotion is real. The identity is optional. This is why healing often feels so confusing. You might be making progress while feeling worse. You might be growing while feeling lost. You might be letting go of old patterns while simultaneously feeling more emotional than ever. Because healing is not always comfortable. In fact, some of the most important stages of healing feel like falling apart. You're no longer the person you used to be. But you're not yet the person you're becoming. And in that space between the old and the new, uncertainty appears. Many people mistake this uncertainty for failure. But often it's a sign of transformation. Imagine cleaning out a room that has been neglected for years. At first it gets messier. Everything is on the floor. Everything feels overwhelming. But that doesn't mean you're making things worse. It means you're finally seeing clearly. Healing works the same way. Before things can be organized, they must first become visible. And what becomes visible can finally be addressed. Another powerful lesson from the book is that healing requires honesty. Not the kind of honesty where you criticize yourself. The kind where you stop pretending. Stop pretending you're okay when you're exhausted. Stop pretending a relationship is healthy when it isn't. Stop pretending you're happy in a life that no longer fits who you are. Real healing begins when you stop negotiating with reality. Because what we refuse to acknowledge often controls us. And what we are willing to face can finally begin to change. The truth is that healing is not a destination. It's not something you achieve once and then never think about again. It's a practice. A relationship with yourself. A willingness to keep returning to yourself, even after setbacks. Even after mistakes. Even after difficult days. You don't heal because life becomes perfect. You heal because you learn that you can handle imperfection. You learn that difficult emotions don't have to control your life. You learn that your past may have shaped you, but it does not have to define you. And perhaps the greatest sign of healing isn't that you never struggle again. It's that when life becomes difficult, you no longer abandon yourself. You stay. You listen. You care for yourself. And little by little, that changes everything. Because the real reason you're not healing may not be that you're doing it wrong. It may simply be that healing looks very different from what you expected. And once you understand that, the journey becomes a little easier.